Hello everyone, what's up? I hope you are good. My name is SAKSHI Yadav and a very warm welcome to all of you in today's discussion. So, today topic is the GST and your question the question arises in your mind that why you are discussing that topic GST. So, GST currently is a news and the context behind this topic is the revenue crosses 1,64,000 crore rupees last month. That's why the topic is in news, but it about 1.8% lower than the amount collected in November. So it is the kind of decrease, lower revenue collected by the government earlier, in this month December, but this is lower than 1.8% lower than the amount collected in November month. So that's why the topic is in news, and we will discuss about this topic in detail, because in the news there are many topics, and we have to choose the important topic for discussion that will help in our study and for our general awareness as well. So that's why, but for the general awareness and for the study purpose, we have to pick out those topics that is important for the study, and we have to pick out the topic like the static portion of the topic, not like the data or anything, because data changes every month on the monthly basis. So that's why data is not important, that we will update our data on the monthly basis, but the static portion will remain same. So that's why we are discussing about GST. So GST is the value added tax levied on the most goods and services sold to the domestic purpose and paid by the consumer, but it is remitted to the government by the businesses selling the goods and services. So normally we can say that the GST is a value added tax levied on the most goods and services and also sold for the domestic purpose. So this is GST, and GST is a goods and services tax. So what is the what are the feature behind this, and what is the basis, legislative basis of GST, and what are the provisions and the advantages and challenges in this topic. So we will discuss about everything, but one by one. So we have to some patience and in a patience manner. So what is the legislative basis of GST? So legislative basis is like GST will was introduced in 2014 as the constitutional 122nd amendment bill 2014. So this will in 2014 the GST is only the bill, not any act, but this will got an approval in 2016, and the constitution also renumbered 100 first amendment act 2016. So this will got an approval in 2016, and after 2016 or in 2016 this will become an act. So what are the provision in this act? So the provision in this act is central GST, state GST, and the IGST, that is integrated GST. So what is central GST, what is state GST, and what is integrated GST, we will discuss. So first, the central GST is cover like excise duty and services tax, etc. So this will cover by the central government, and the central government take the tax on that kind of in the those area, we can say excise duty or the services tax. And then state GST. So state GST is like the VAT, value added tax, is considered or comes under the state GST. And then the luxury tax, luxury item, state government levied the tax on luxury item. So this will also consider in the state GST, or we can see in the short SGST. And then, or you know what, the SGST comes under the article 246A, because state have power to tax goods and services by this act, by this article 246A. So by this, state got a power to levy a tax on goods and services. And then we come to the integrated GST. So integrated GST is kind of like inter-state tax, that when the state manufacture any product, so manufacturing is in different state and the supply is in different state. So at that time the GST comes, the name is of the GST is integrated GST. When interstate GST comes, so it will consider in the IGST. And also IGST per se is not the tax but a system to coordinate between the state and the union taxes. Okay, so this will coordinate in the union and the state tax, because for the easy-going process, IGST works between the state and the central level, or we can say on a union level. And there are many functions or feature of GST. So we will discuss like the main feature of GST. So the main feature of GST is that GST applicable on supply side. Okay, you know what, the demand and the supply side or supply process. So when you see the supply is going on or increases and the demand increases kind of thing, so at that time the GST applicable on supply side, not on demand side, it is applicable on the supply side. And the second main feature of the GST is GST is the destination based tax. Okay, you know, the final good or intermediary good, so GST apply on the final good, or we can say a destination based taxation. Okay, GST is a destination based taxation. And the third and most important feature of GST is dual GST. GST works simultaneously in a one go. GST or tax taken by the state and the central level or the union level. So this is works in a simultaneous manner, not one by one, or not in the one firstly take the central government take the tax, then apply the state government. No, this is not the case. This GST is a dual GST and dual GST system, so this will go in a simultaneous process. And the fourth very important feature of the GST is the GST rates to be mutually, okay, GST rates to be mutually decided. State government and the central government decided mutually what will be the tax on this product and what will be the tax on the another and that product. So central and the state government decide on a mutual basis and then come on the one point and then decide what will be the tax on any product. So, and the fifth that is also very important feature of the GST, that multiple rates. That if you talk about the domestic products, so domestic products have a different GST rate or different tax, and the luxuries product had different tax, and the excise duty or the services tax or the income tax. So different taxes decided on a different things. So that's why we can say that the different product have their own tax that is decided by the central or state government. Okay, so this is we can see a multiple rates that is decided by the government of state and the union level government. And like earlier we discussed about the legislative basis of GST, that CGST, SGST and IGST. So this is a very important factor, or we can say a provisions of this act, of this GST act. So there are many advantage and disadvantage, or we can say challenges as well. So advantage is like reduce the corruption level in the country. So this is the first and very important advantage of GST. And the second advantage is bring about the certainty in the whole system of taxation. Okay, before GST there are a lot of taxation and corruption was going on. So this things reduces after GST. So this is like bring about certainty in the market and in the system of this taxation process. And the third and very important advantage of the GST is discourage the, we can say, the evasion of tax. Firstly, like earlier what happens that the taxpayer evade the tax, they don't pay the tax. But now the most of the people and most of the taxpayer are paying the taxes on a very regular manner and in a very efficient manner. So these are some like advantage of GST. But you know that every point have some advantage and also have some challenges as well. Or so challenges are like manufacturing state loses the revenue on a large scale. Manufacturing state normally loses a revenue on a large scale. They faces a lot of difficulty and in earning the revenue because of the GST. Because this is some like sometime centrally tilted to the center. So under the control of the central level. So that's why we can say the many more manufacturing states are facing the loss in earning revenue. And the second and bigger challenge is reduction in the fiscal autonomy of the state. So they don't have the fiscal autonomy in our own state. If we talk about the one example, Kerala. So Kerala also faces the same problem. They find that they don't have any kind of fiscal autonomy in their own state, and they have some act for their own state, but they are not able to implement the act properly because of center. So they like that kind of issue is going on. So like this is also one challenge. And the second challenge is levy of additional cess. So if you like, if you don't have enough autonomy in our own state, or you, so this also create another challenge, that levy of additional cess. Sometime we have to pay additional tax at some place. So this is also kind of challenge. And this is all about the GST, goods and services tax. And also like introduced in 2014, but this is only a bill, but in 2016 this will become an act. So this was become an act. So this is all about GST. And GST is a news, that's why we are discussing, and we have to know the every point and every perspective and dimension of the of this topic. So thank you.